Hold on.
Hello, Grinders. Welcome to a live edition of The Grind. Tommy Joe Martins alongside Devin Murray.
What's up, everybody?
We're watching Thursday Night Football, and we're going to talk to you while we're doing it.
Yeah. So if you got the chat, if anybody's in here, you can go ahead and get in here on the chat and talk to us. I think we can do that. Is that right?
This is a first for us.
This is a first for us.
Believe me, it looked like a first for us over the course of the last 30 minutes, where we managed to dive into tech specs and Google Hangouts and everything else, and really by doing absolutely nothing and just doing exactly what we had been doing before, all of a sudden we got all of our issues to go away. So I don't really know what we changed or what we did differently, but now apparently everything works. So good to be with everybody.
Oh, hold on. I can hear myself. Okay. Sorry.
You can hear yourself talking.
Oh, wait. There's people talking in the chat now. Okay, we're good.
Let's preface this, by the way. Anybody listening to this later on, this is going to sound completely incoherent for a lot of this. This is completely live. I mean, I guess every podcast we do is live in one take. But this is going to go down some really weird roads. We're not going to be segueing normally like we do. Not like we do a very good job of it anyway, but this is going to be all over the place. So we're going to have live questions, and we're going to be commenting on what's going on with the game. So if you're trying to stay away from that, don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that the whole time.
Yeah, there are two football games on that we can't really point out by name for legal purposes, I guess. But we're not showing the game. I mean, I think we can talk about it. I don't know what is the actual language at that commercial with the guy with the really deep voice is prohibited. Well, yeah, that's like distribution of the game. Like we're not showing the game. Oh, okay. It's like the UFC has contracts with like certain people where they show the fights in certain bars, but like a random bar can't just go buy a UFC fight and then promote that. It's like a reason for people to come to the bar. Right, but doesn't it say like written accounts too? Like. I don't know. Whatever. We're doing it. Right. We're not getting any money for it anyway. What are they going to do? No, we're not getting anything. So, yeah, it's Thursday night, October 1st. Currently, Cincinnati is up 27-20 on Miami, and it is 13-7 in the Steelers-Ravens game with the Steelers leading. Just so everyone knows, my parlay bet for the night was the over in the Steelers game and them on money line. What was the number there? Plus 125, and the number. Well, no. Yeah, okay, the number. The over was 44, so they're at 20 right now at that. So I don't like your chances here. Hey, it's only 4 points off pace. And then we also in that parlay we had Cincinnati plus 7.5, and they're actually up 7, and the under at 70, and they're already at 47 in the third quarter. So just nobody plays any defense in this game. So I think that one's dead. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're in trouble there. Yeah. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to talk about the upcoming games for the weekend, college and NFL, and just kind of ramble and probably do that through the into the third quarter maybe, and then we'll let you guys probably through the rest of the game, judging by how this night has already gone so far. So yeah, just everybody get your popcorn. We're going to be here for a long one. Tommy, let's talk about some games. Okay. Is this going to be like a weird edition of the vent for you? Is that what's going on here, or the juice? Yeah, like that's what we're kind of doing. I just want to talk about. We'll preview. This is the live juice, is what this is. Well, we didn't preview. Fresh squeezed juice. Yeah, only the best. We didn't preview on the grind this week. We just kind of reflected. So we got to give some predictions. That's what Tuesdays are for. They're for reflection. That's right. And Mondays are for suicidal thoughts. Yeah, Mondays are for regret. Yeah. If you can hear us. If you can hear us on the thing, please comment so I know that this is working. You can say whatever you want to me. You can make it as vulgar as you please. So, yeah.
We just want to hear from someone that this is actually working, that they can actually see our faces and hear our voices.
Yes, that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
Don't know if they really want to, but please acknowledge that it's happening.
Exactly.
So Jerome Bettis just got inducted into the Hall of Fame last year, and he was being recognized here at this game in front of the big Steeler home crowd there. Hard not to just love Jerome Bettis. It's, he was awesome.
Yeah. Whenever I first started watching football, it was when he was playing against the Broncos all the time in the playoffs. And so I didn't like him. But, man, you want to talk about just someone that seems like a really nice guy, someone that you would be like, yeah, I'll hang out with Jerome Bettis, and also just a freaking stud. How did people tackle him or even attempt to?
It's really remarkable how quick his feet were for him to be the size that he was. That's what I mean, no, Jerome Bettis didn't have top-end speed. That is pretty obvious. But Jerome Bettis had tremendous quickness in and out of cuts and getting his his shoulders moving forward. That's what made him so tough. It wasn't just that he was big. It wasn't just that he tried to run you over. It's that he got his momentum going very quickly. And so that's what made him tough. It was like he was always falling forward.
Yeah. Apparently everyone can hear us in the chat and they're saying stuff, but I can't hear them at all. I don't know where to find them.
Oh, they're speaking to you in the chat.
Yeah, and I'm hitting show chat on the
why wouldn't they just why wouldn't they type? We're talking here. Don't try to talk to. We're not making this a 17-way call here.
They're saying that they're typing to us.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, you're just not even looking at the right thing?
No, it just didn't. There it is. It just didn't. It wasn't there, and I'd closed it and then opened it back up, and there it was. I don't know how far behind we are, so I don't know when they'll get this, but they're still yelling at me.
Okay, well, it's no different than me on the normal podcast. So
yeah.
We're right on track.
Gosh, I forgot. I'm gonna have to edit all that out for real. This is gonna be an edit sesh. All right.
Don't edit anything. This is live. This is why we do a live podcast.
But people are listening to this, and it's just irrelevant. Okay, Tommy, let's talk about some games.
Let's talk about some games.
Talking about games. One of the biggest games of the weekend, West Virginia, Oklahoma. Number 23, West Virginia, and number 15, Oklahoma. I don't think anyone thought that this game would have many implications at the beginning of the year, but it looks like whoever comes out. And it still
doesn't.
No, they might be the favorite in the Big 12. TCU and Baylor really don't.
Which is weird. Strong. Okay, bone to pick here before we dive off into the actual predictions and stuff for the game here.
Yeah.
How was West Virginia in the Big 12?
It's the dumbest thing I think that's ever happened, not only in sports, but in the history of the world.
That's like Boise State being in the Big East.
It's like
how does that happen?
The University of Juneau being in the ACC. It's across the country. There aren't any states that connect. Go look at their state emblem one. They have to show the entire United States, and then they just highlight.
As someone that has been to West Virginia, I believe the culture connects quite a bit.
Yeah.
But they are not anywhere close geographically, and it makes no sense. Like, conferences should be done not by money, not by TV contracts. Conferences should be done by geographical region and size of school. That is it.
That's it.
That is all that should go into this. That way, our guys can play their guys, and it's regional pride and all that kind of stuff. It is absolute garbage that West Virginia is in the Big 12. It's just the Big 12 being such a shitty conference that they just have to get other programs to even be in it. The Big 12 has 10 teams.
Yep. Hey, here's an idea.
The Big 10 has 12 teams.
Stop naming your conference off of just how many teams are in it. The Southeastern Conference, the Atlantic Coast Conference, the Big East. It can literally have as many teams as it wants because it's the Big East. Yeah, we're just getting bigger. I remember when the Big Ten had 11 teams, and so they hit a 1 in the logo, inside the G or right next to the 1.
No, that was made it tricky.
And it was just like, or just make it. At least the Pac-12 was finally like, this is ridiculous. We're going to be the Pac-12 instead of the Pac-10. But just why not just be the Pacific Conference or something like that?
Right. No, I'm totally with you. Just be the Pac. Like that was a conference that got disbanded, but now just be that.
We have the SWAC.
Yeah.
The SWAC is probably the sweetest, like, acronymed one.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
SWAC, baby. And the MAC.
The MAC. You get the MAC.
No one calls it the MAC. It's always the MACtion. I love it.
MACtion. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
Hey, idiots. This isn't a microphone. This is because I have a deviated septum and I breathe really hard on the mic. They're in the chat being like, Devin's mic looks like something Orson Welles announced Alien Invasions on.
That's pretty impressive. Hey, where have these comments been? Like during the, where have any of the jokes been about any of us over the course of the entire podcast that we've done this?
I don't know.
You guys are late to the party if you're making fun of us. We've got like 10 weeks worth of stuff that you can make fun of.
Oh, by the way, I know that we announced it as number 12, but it was actually number 13.
What, this is number 13?
No, this is number 14.
Yeah, because we did the video games thing and everything.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to everything that we've done, I'm not just gonna force you into trying to listen to everything that we've done. But go back and listen to everything that we've done. Like get caught up, because a lot of the jokes that we're gonna make in this thing are just jokes that have revolved around like just dumb fights that we have had over the course of.
And if you don't go back, then all our callbacks are going to be awful, just like Cantaloupe, because Cantaloupe is awful.
We're not getting into this now. We're going to stay away from fruit debates. We're going to stay away from fruit debates while we got a football game going on.
All right, Tommy, what games do you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about Oklahoma, West Virginia. I think Oklahoma wins. There you go. The end.
You think Oklahoma wins?
Yeah,
okay.
It's just okay. Oklahoma wins. What else you got?
Well, here's the great thing about sports these days, Tommy. We don't just have to talk about who's going to win. We can talk about who's going to cover. The spread is 6.5 Oklahoma. Now, West Virginia's coming in 3-0. Oklahoma's coming in 3-0. Their best win is against Tennessee on the road. Had to come back. They were losing that game. And West Virginia hadn't played nobody. West Virginia ain't played nobody. They beat Maryland last week 45-6, but I think we've seen all season that Maryland is awful at football this year. They're not any good.
Has been for a bit. And, the thing is I remember 5, 6, 7 years ago, Maryland was actually pretty darn competitive over there in the ACC. They were a tough out.
I didn't even think it was that long ago. I thought like 2 years ago everyone was like, Maryland might be good here soon, and they just really haven't been. They got blown out by Bowling Green. They beat USF, but USF is terrible.
No, they're not very good.
Jeremy said something was hilarious, but I don't know what it was. So
I'm sure it's my face or my hair or something stupid that we can make fun of.
Got him. So you think they cover 6.5? You think Oklahoma covers it? You think they cover that?
I like Dana Holgorsen. I've always liked Dana Holgorsen.
Oh,
I think he's a pretty good coach. I actually like him. I think he does a pretty good job for what he's got up there.
I feel like he's the worst person ever. Like, I can't stand him.
Do they cover 6.5? I don't know. I think Oklahoma wins the game. Yeah. I don't know that it's a blowout.
I think that's a game that you just kind of stay away from.
Yeah,
personally.
I don't like that one very much.
If that was 10 or 3, either way, then I'm taking it. I'm taking because I think.
You give me 3.5. I'm taking Oklahoma.
Yeah,
but I don't like 6.5. Seems like in a game that both teams are going to be up for a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that I love that one.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's one that you just hold off.
If you made me pick, I would take West Virginia there.
Yeah, I think I would too. It's just that's a good number by Vegas. Good number. Good job, Vegas. This one's interesting. And not so much on who's going to win the game, but about this spread. TCU, number 4, TCU coming off that just crazy comeback tip drill win against Texas Tech last week on the road. They're hosting Texas, 1-3 Texas. Texas got blown out the first game of the season, and then they've had 2 just really unfortunate endings to games that lost a big parlay for me last week. And the spread
Texas is such an example of make your own luck, where you're just like, okay, yeah, that was kind of crappy what happened, but maybe don't just suck as a program, and you won't find yourself in these kind of situations. Maybe just play better, and you won't be in these sort of spots. Like, I feel like Texas has lost a couple of heartbreakers, and both of them were very, very well-deserved heartbreakers to lose.
Yeah. The spread is 14.5, and I think that's going to be very interesting to see how that one goes. That's another one that I would just stay away from. Oh, so Josh is commenting right now, and he said, side note, our friend Josh, he said the girlfriend is watching along, and her first question was, which one ruined Thanksgiving?
Oh, man. Yeah, now we're talking to a throwback there.
You want a story time this?
No, I don't know if we want to get in. Do we want to get into that right now in the middle of everything? I mean, I don't mind getting into it. This is a little early. I feel like we should almost save that story till we actually get to like a Thanksgiving.
But this girl is watching right now. Hey,
okay.
If you want to skip ahead like 5 minutes in the podcast.
Okay, we're gonna try to get this as quick as we can here. I'm gonna tell my side of the story here, which is really not a good side.
You have a good side?
No, there's no side.
You're gonna win somebody over here?
No, there's no side to win. Okay, so we had come up with the idea that we were going to do a friend Thanksgiving.
Friendsgiving.
Which was my idea, by the way.
Oh, you came up with potluck dinners? Thanks, Tommy.
That was my idea, to get everyone together for Thanksgiving.
Big reach there.
Oh, I'm sure that you guys were all just sitting around and just knew that we were going to do this until I came up with the idea.
Connor told me.
I came up with the idea. So let's do Thanksgiving. And like an idiot, like a big, stupid idiot, I wanted to do Thanksgiving kind of at like the traditional Thanksgiving time, which generally winds up being lunch, is what it winds up being, because everybody's up and you're eating around 1 or 2 in the afternoon and you're watching football, all this kind of stuff. So my idea was, let's have Thanksgiving for lunch. Well, of course, that's going to involve prepping a turkey at like 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
Oh, my God. I cannot believe that this is the way that you're telling this story.
No, I'm not just saying this.
No. Please finish your version of this story, because it is so unbelievably wrong.
Jeremy and I went and got a turkey, being idiots, because we did this for how many years did we do this, Devin? We did this for what? 4 to 5 years? We did Friendsgiving or whatever? Long time.
Josh just said Tommy invented Thanksgiving, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, about 4 years we did this. We got smarter over the course of 4 years. But the first year that we did this, Jeremy and I literally went to go get a turkey. It was the day before Thanksgiving, or the day before we were going to do this. Like a couple of absolute idiots. And so we literally had to sit this stinking turkey in like hot water over the course of like, I don't even know how many hours, for like 12 hours.
Tommy, your memory is so
hot water.
Oh my God.
This is true.
Oh my God. Let's go.
The first year that we did this.
Keep going.
So Jeremy goes to bed. I remember this is during exam week. I remember this. I had just gotten Assassin's Creed. I was infatuated with this game. I thought it was the coolest game I'd ever seen. And I played this game all day. Jeremy winds up going to class, or he has an exam. And he's like, Tommy, I need you to like take the turkey out or put the turkey in at a certain time. I need you to put the turkey in at this time. We had been taking turns rotating it into hot water. And so now I'm up all night and I'm playing Assassin's Creed, and I go to sleep, and I sleep right through putting the turkey in. And so Devin has to come over to the house, and we've made the joke that Devin saves Thanksgiving. It's because I was sleeping because I stayed up all night trying to beat Assassin's Creed. And so Devin comes over, gets the turkey, puts the turkey in. The turkey gets done probably about 2 hours later than we really wanted it to be. I think it was about 2 hours, right?
I'm going to let you finish your story.
It was a couple hours. It was a couple hours later. And Devin saved Thanksgiving, because I would have slept completely through all of this and still did.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah,
Are you done with your crap?
I'm done. It was the first one, was it not? It was the first one that we ever did. This was the first
one. Well,
I knew it was.
This was my freshman year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I knew it was the first one we ever did.
My freshman year. You guys did that the year before, okay? And I came, but I wasn't like in school there. Jeremy and I.
All right. Well, then I'm getting those memories confused. You're right. I'm getting those screwed up then.
So I
remember the first year was just such a shit show with us trying to do that together, but then we did. You're right. And so the second year was my screw up. I know I was supposed to put the turkey in. I didn't do it.
Tommy, so Jeremy and I had a lab together, and Jeremy had another lab afterwards, I think, or we had a class together, and then Jeremy had a lab. And so I saw him in class, and he had been in class all day, and this was an afternoon class. This was my brother, and him and Tommy lived together. And Jeremy, after class, it was like 1 o'clock or something like that, and he was like, dude, I don't think that Tommy put the turkey in the oven. Like I left at 8, and I told him to put it in at 10, and he had been up all night playing this
Assassin's Creed. Playing Assassin's Creed. It was the first Assassin's Creed. This is how old
the entire night. He said that he left at 8 in the morning, and you were just like dead-eyed and just yeah, I'll put it in there. And he was like, "There's no way this happens."
A zombie.
And so I finally get out of my class at like 3 o'clock and get over there and walk in, and I just start beating on Tommy's door. And I was like, "Did you put the turkey in the oven?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Okay, right. Well, you were supposed to put it in there 5 hours ago." So we were supposed to eat at like 5:30 or 6. We were going to do a pretty early one. And I think the turkey got done at like 9:45.
Is that late? I know it was late.
Dude, it was so late.
I know it was late.
Like, because we had played Assassin's Creed for so long that we were all tired of it, and we were like, "Can we eat already?" It was the worst thing ever.
Right.
All right.
No, it was a mess.
So that's the story time. Hey, Pittsburgh is trying to. Oh, they're kicking a field goal. They just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they got it. They're up 20.
Pittsburgh did just score. I think that was a touchdown to Darius Hayward-Bay. I saw him celebrating.
Oh, I had him for first touchdown of the night. Even though I didn't mean to, I thought he was someone else. I was really tired this morning when I placed that bet and I lost it. But I had him for first touchdown of the game. Yep, he sure did. All right, let's get back to some games.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. You want to talk about? You want to get some of the small?
You know what? No. You know what? No. I want to back up. I want to back up for a second here, and I want to talk about a real personal issue that I'm having with fantasy football.
Okay.
Where my team sucks a big fatty.
Dude, you're awful.
And I go to you for advice, and really what you do is just screw me.
Hey, he just
take a screw and just turn it a little bit more.
He just threw for a touchdown.
So I picked up Michael Vick off the waiver wire this week. I've been having struggles with my current quarterback.
How are you throwing me under the bus because your team sucks?
My current quarterback, who you would think would be better than he is, but he has really sucked. He has thrown multiple interceptions. This is an unbelievable stat I saw today. He's thrown multiple interceptions in like 7 straight games. It's the longest streak since like the 1970s that somebody's thrown.
Who is your starter?
Multiple interceptions in that many consecutive games. Andrew Luck.
Oh, yeah. He's not good this year for some reason. It's weird. He's a good quarterback, but he's not good this year.
I mean, what the hell is going on with that guy? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to pick up Michael Vick. Big Ben is out for about a month. You got Michael Vick. No need to rush Big Ben back. I love Michael Vick. Everybody loves Michael Vick.
Hey.
Fun to watch.
Time.
Yeah, right. So I'll pick him up. Explosive offense in Pittsburgh. This could be big fantasy points. And now I'm faced with a decision because I've got my number 2 overall pick, Andrew Luck, who's facing the Jaguars, a shitty team, or you go with Michael Vick against the Ravens.
Okay, what did you just say about Andrew Luck, though? He's thrown how many interceptions? He's been how bad this year?
He's thrown a lot of picks.
How do you know that Michael Vick isn't going to have a better game?
Michael Vick has 91 yards right now, midway through the third.
Okay, there's
91 yards passing.
Game left. Chill out, bro. He just threw for a touchdown.
Oh, so you're saying he's getting his swag back right now? This is
getting that swag back.
This is
he
the
hasn't
moment.
played in like a year.
Steve Smith, who put up like 30 points last week, has 16 yards receiving, so that's really good.
Hey, Joe, Andrew Luck was good a year ago. Joe said, when has Andrew Luck been good? He's been good. He's just been turnover prone, but he's just not good, and he's still turning it over. So,
yeah.
That's all I know about it. That's all I can say. He's just
in defense of Andrew Luck, and everybody wants to talk about how great Andrew Luck has been.
That team sucks.
That team is not very good. And it really hasn't been good.
It's so honestly, bad.
It hasn't been good for like 2 years. They've just somehow gone to the playoffs. Like, they're really not very good.
No.
Like, name some good players off that team.
No. I won't do it because I can't.
T.Y. Hilton is the best player you're going to name off that team. T.Y. Hilton is the best player you're going to name. Like, Dante Moncrief is good. Dante Moncrief is now the number one receiver on the Colts.
Dante Moncrief is going to be the best receiver on the Colts next year. He might already be.
Oh, he is. He absolutely is.
He's so big. He's so fast. Oh, my God, he's so good. I love him.
He's not that fast, but he's good.
Are you serious? He ran the second fastest time at the Combine his year. He ran under a 4.4. So, Tommy, take that somewhere else. You don't remember that in the Combine? Like, he seriously killed it.
No, I don't. I thought he ran about a 4.4 something.
No, he ran like a 4.3.
I mean, I knew he was up there towards the top. I didn't know that he was that high up. I did not know.
The second fastest receiver. And
pretty
he's
solid.
Huge. He's so big.
Yeah. No,
like
big.
He's
big guy.
built. He's built like a linebacker.
Yeah.
Like he's that thick.
No, he's solid.
Joe's still hating on Andrew Luck. He's like, was he? Was he good? Come on.
You can't just continue to ask like rhetorical questions. Yeah, like, that's not an offense.
Yeah, you're gonna get banned. Hey, also, if you're watching and you're enjoying it, share us on Twitter or whatever. All right, let's talk about a game. What game?
How is James Harrison still in the league? I'm watching this Steelers game. James Harrison is like 38 years old.
Yeah.
And is still playing linebacker as like a pass rusher in the NFL.
Because James Harrison is a loser. Man, I can't stand James Harrison.
If you don't know who James Harrison is the guy that made his kid give back a trophy because he got a participation trophy.
And
he made his kid take it back because he didn't want his kid to have a participation trophy.
You can't have the next one. I'm taking this one back. What a jackass. Hey, Notre Dame Clemson.
All right.
That's gonna be a good game, right? Number 6 versus
Clemson.
Number 12. Clemson?
Clemson.
You don't think Notre Dame's
eventually? I do not think Notre Dame is that good. I really don't. I mean, obviously they are, but eventually I don't think so. So I don't know.
Clemson's 1.5. I mean, what has Notre Dame done to not look awesome, though?
I know. The thing is they beat Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech now doesn't look that good. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but does Georgia Tech not look that good because they went, oh, crap, we just lost to Notre Dame? Like, I think that's a game where they just –
You're just really trying to stick with this Georgia Tech thing. I've already accepted my defeat.
Hey, I still think they're a good team. They're not going to go to the playoff anymore, but that doesn't mean that they're not a good team. They'll be fine if they can just get focused. And that is why I'm going to take Georgia Tech at -7 this week. Absolutely.
Against who?
It doesn't matter. But I will look. Did Georgia Tech fall out of the top 25?
I believe so.
God.
That's what happens when you get whipped 2 weeks in a row.
In a woe?
In a woe. My God, they're getting whipped.
Yeah. Let's see. They're playing North Carolina, and it's -7.5. So for some reason, they didn't play well in the rain at Duke, and I don't understand that. Like, I saw it was raining. I was like, oh, well, they're absolutely going to win because they're just going to run it down everybody's throat. And Justin Thomas was awful. But
I think their line play has been bad, quite frankly. Because really you look at the rest of the pieces around there, they really haven't changed a whole lot. Like, you got Justin Thomas again. Obviously, something's going on with the offensive line where they're not as good there, and I think they're not as physical on defense as they were a year ago.
Yeah, they're just not getting any push. Like There were so many times it was 3rd and 1 in the Duke game, and they would get a 4-yard loss. It wasn't even like they were getting stuffed. I mean, they were just getting backed up. I was shocked by that. I did not, even after the poor Notre Dame showing. But yeah, I mean, if you want to take away from Notre Dame's win, I can't knock you there. I still think that they're a really good team. And I don't know if Clemson is that good. Is Clemson that good? Is Dabo finally going to knock Clemson?
Yeah, there's a few teams every year that you can count on just taking out a gun, putting a bullet in it,
loading it up,
cocking that thing back, and just aiming it directly at their big toe and just shooting themselves in the foot. And that's Clemson and Oregon. They're going to do it every year.
I mean, they only beat Louisville by 3. And I just don't think that they're that good. My brother has a saying.
How are they a 1.5-point favorite?
I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
They're playing it in Clemson, right?
Yeah, it's at Clemson, but I know Clemson's a tough place to play, but
that's a tough place to play.
No, it's a fun place. I think it's more of a fun. Like, I don't think anyone's scared of Clemson. Like, you go to the other Death Valley down in Baton Rouge, like, you're scared. You're not like, oh, well, I think we'll be all right, but this is fun. We're going to enjoy the atmosphere. You're like, man, if things go south, I need an escape plan. Like, that's not Clemson.
Baton Rouge is just dangerous. That's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't. So my brother and I, we've been talking about getting in on stock trading, and we're trying to identify the next blow up. And he said, the next time you hear someone refer to a company as a verb, like Google that or something like that, that's when you know that it's popular. Like, that's what it's going to be a big thing. So Clemson is known as Clemsoning. It got turned into a verb of just screwing the pooch. And so that's all you need to know about that school when they are not a clear-cut favorite, is they're just going to screw it up.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against Notre Dame. The thing is like, I've just had 15 reasons to bet against Notre Dame, like every different game, and somehow they've just been fine. So, do I think Brian Kelly is a better coach than Dabo Swinney? Yeah. Even though I don't like Brian Kelly very much, I do. I think he's probably a little bit better. So.
Yeah, and I hate Brian Kelly. He's probably my least favorite college coach. But
no,
he is a good coach.
No, he's not.
Who's your least favorite?
Bobby Petrino.
I
mean, that's just like slam dunk. Bobby Petrino.
I mean, Bobby Petrino is just like my least favorite person. So you know how they do, like, at the Oscars, they do like Best Picture, like, this is the best movie. Well, you can't let them win everything. Like, oh, the best actor is the best movie. Like, Bobby Petrino is just the worst person. So if I'm just going, so take him out of the
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, you can't repeat it. He's like Leo. He's never going to win an Oscar, but he's going to get a Lifetime Achievement Award.
For anybody that doesn't know who Bobby Petrino is, he's a former head coach at Arkansas. It's really he's a former head coach everywhere. So Bobby Petrino left Louisville to go coach. Nobody really fault him for that. I mean, it's a chance to go coach an NFL team. It's an awesome opportunity.
And we've talked about Bobby Petrino before.
Yeah, I know, but this is why we say go listen to everything. But for anybody that hasn't, so Bobby Petrino goes and coaches the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are having a crappy year. So he leaves the Falcons in the middle of the year. Doesn't get fired or anything like that. He just leaves. And so he leaves notes. This is an NFL team with grown men on it. He leaves notes in
First off, what kind of man writes another guy a note? If you ever write me a note, I'm going to punch you in the face. I don't care what it says.
No,
don't write me a note.
It's so funny. He leaves notes in all the guys' lockers saying, God. Hey, it's been great, though. You guys will do fine. You know, pretty much like, thanks a lot for buying me or whatever. They were like, what the hell, man? And he just left in the middle of the night. And there's literally the next morning. This is what's unbelievable about it. It's the next morning.
It's later that.
It's later that afternoon.
He's doing.
I knew it was like the
Suey. He's doing a
Woo Pig Suey
at a press conference in Arkansas, and they're playing a game tomorrow. Like the Falcons are.
The Falcons are. Yeah. Are you kidding?
And then he got in a motorcycle wreck with his mistress, who he got a job on the football team, and then paid off a sheriff to cover it up, and got fired, and then went back to Louisville.
And then Louisville hired him again. That's what's remarkable about all this. He goes and coaches at Western Kentucky for a couple of years, and then Louisville hires him back.
Like, I know that we always say, like, oh, well, this guy did this. He shouldn't be allowed to, like, play in the NFL. Like, he beat his wife. This drunk driving that Dante Don't Let My Cadillac Stallworth killed a guy, like, ran over him while he was drunk driving. And we're like, these guys shouldn't be. Out of all of those people, I think that Bobby Petrino is the shittiest person. And everyone's just like, well, he's just terrible, but that's okay. Like, he could still do it because he didn't really break any laws other than paying off a sheriff. Like, what? Right. Can we not just get rid of Can we just not reward terrible people? Like, okay, some people do terrible actions, and some people are just terrible people.
Weird discussion here. So another guy that I've always kind of laughed at, kind of the run that they had in the NFL. The way, Josh, you saw what's up?
Josh said that the atmosphere at LSU is just corn dog aroma.
Yeah. That's why everybody's so sick when they go in there.
Josh is killing it. Josh said Louisville swipes right for everybody.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they did, obviously.
Swipe
I don't know what that coaching search – what was that coaching search like, I wonder? Like, for all the boosters and the like the athletic director involved, did they have, like, a list of candidates and, like, Bobby Petrino was at the bottom of it? Or was he, like, the number one? They were like, we got to get Bobby back.
I want to do, like, a 30
Bobby
for
back.
30. I want to do like a 30 for 30 and do a documentary on that hiring process and talk to the boosters that were like, absolutely not, because there's no way that all of them are that like have that little dignity. Like, there's got to be someone that was like, I swear to God, I am going to kill someone if we hire Bobby back.
So the biggest booster of all in the Louisville program is Papa John, actually, from Papa John. So the stadium is named after – it's literally called Papa John Cardinal Stadium. Like, he helped build a lot of this stuff. What if Papa John and Bobby Petrino were just like buddies?
Just homies?
Yeah.
You think he's got a little Papa John thing on his motorcycle? Like a little light?
Probably does.
All right.
Let's get him a job, get him paid.
I don't want
Weird thought, though. Weird tangent to jump into here. It's a lot. But so we're talking about a guy that was a college coach that wound up going back to college. So you saw Pete Carroll go to the NFL, go back to college, go back to the NFL, and now he's having success. I look at a guy like Nick Saban. Like, you're telling me Nick Saban isn't a good enough football coach to succeed in the NFL? Absolutely he is. Absolutely he is. And he went with the Dolphins for like 2 years, and they were all right. I think his quarterback at the time, I can't even remember the guy's name. He got drafted by the Jets. Oh, Chad Pennington. Chad Pennington was his quarterback, I think.
Yeah.
Like, Chad Pennington had no – like, I have a stronger arm than Chad Pennington.
No, you don't.
And he literally got cut from every team in the world where they were like, this guy literally can't throw it 20 yards at this point.
No, you don't.
Like, that's how little arm strength the guy had. So that was the situation going on there. That obviously wasn't very good, And then he goes back to Alabama because why not? Because they're going to pay you a ton of money, and it's a huge program, and you have a chance to rebuild it and be the hero there. Don't blame him there. But to think that Nick Saban couldn't succeed in the NFL, of course. Go back and succeed, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but I think that he's better. I think he's better suited for college. I think if you put him in the right situation in the NFL, he could do well. But I just don't think. I think that his coaching style works better on kids than it does on professionals who are getting paid.
Jim Harbaugh was a success in the NFL, huge success.
Yeah, and then he got fired, Tommy. After what?
Because he didn't get along with management. Are you kidding me?
Because none of his players liked him either by the end of it. Like, they didn't like him. Because if you just hear him for 5 years, just with they say that he's so intense and like so strangely intense that he just wears on people. Everywhere he's gone, he's worn on people, and he's moved along very quickly.
Chip Kelly is a guy who I'm seeing sort of the same pattern here, where it looks like the Eagles were going to be good. They made the playoffs, then they missed the playoffs. Now they're kind of, around a 500 team, and everybody in the NFL is very quick to go, oh, well, this isn't working. Chip Kelly is not working. Chip Kelly's a really good coach. He's really good.
He's a really good coach.
He ought to be an NFL coach. I mean, he's a top-level coach.
Yeah.
But I see a guy like that winding up going back to college when I think they could be successful in the NFL. You just got to give them time. Yeah,
you got to give them time, and you just got to get them in the right situation. The college game is different than the NFL game. Like, it's a different game. So if you're going to bring a guy directly from college,
a lot closer though than they've ever been before. I think those games that gap has closed up a lot.
Well, I think for a long time they were very close, and then as these NFL offenses got more complex, and then everyone went to just, okay, well, we're just going to run shotgun and get it to our best athletes. Like that's the strategy in college football is get everybody in space and just let your athletes make plays, because there's more disparity in college football between a great player and a bad player than there is in the NFL. Like,
sure.
That's what happened. And so in the NFL, it's not just get them out in space. You need to actually get separation, because you're not going to be able to juke out everybody. But if Chip Kelly gets in the right situation and is able to build that team, because they're not good right now, if he's able to build that team the way he wants, then he could have success in the NFL.
The Ravens just went for a fake field goal, and it did not work.
Oh, come on. We got the over there.
It did not work. Right now, you're sitting at 34 points total right now.
I'm at 34? I only need 10?
You need 10. Wait, I thought it was 44 and a half.
No, it's 44.
There's 44 on the money? Okay.
Yeah. And Miami-Cincinnati's at 27-20. No one scored in the third quarter. It's 27-20 at the half. Nobody scored in the third quarter. It's in the fourth quarter now. So
what are you holding on to there?
70. They've got 47.
Oh, I think you're okay there.
Hey, don't say that. I would just say that.
You're all right. Yeah, they're not going to score 23 combined.
So Joe Woolsey said Chad Pennington's QBR rating is 90.1. Andrew Luck is 65.1. And then he said, but Tommy's better.
90.1.
90.1 is Chad Pennington.
Total QBR. Oh, is Chad Pennington playing this year? I didn't know that. Chad Pennington played when we had total QBR rating.
Yeah, dude, they went back and dated everybody, though.
Give me a break. Total QBR involves like it doesn't just involve your quarterback rating. It's like situationally.
Dude, I know. I'm telling you, you can go look up QBRs for older people, for people that aren't in the league anymore.
What year is this?
I don't know.
Like lifetime QBR. Chad Pennington. Chad Pennington is a 91 lifetime QBR. You realize that it's 1 to 100. So he was a 91 overall QBR quarterback his entire life.
Rating.
Give me a break.
Chad Pennington rating. He said
rating.
Tommy.
Give me a break.
Tommy.
Chad Pennington had like a 6-year career.
Okay, please stop yelling at me. This is not my fault. I'm just telling you what Joe said. All right. Mississippi State is playing Arkansas. Is that right? Is that the game?
You're the one that's supposed to be prepared.
No, Mississippi State and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
That's going to be a pretty good game. Texas A&M.
Just maroon everywhere.
Just the ugly. Last year was the Snow Bowl in commemoration of the Liberty Bowl. Like, there was a game and it snowed, and so they made their own uniforms, and it was awful.
So what, are they trying to create a rivalry there? Are they trying to like?
Yeah, I guess so. It's Mississippi State. It's what they do. Go figure.
We got to have a chip on our shoulder for everything.
Hey, nobody respects us. Well, no, not when you dress like idiots. So, yeah, it's just the Maroon Bowl. That's what it's going to be. And the line –
The Ugly Bowl.
The Ugly Bowl. The line is 6.5 Texas A&M at home. Mississippi State comes in at 3-1. They're only lost to LSU, and Texas A&M comes in at kind of surprising 4-0.
I'd say a surprising 4-0.
I'd say surprising. I thought they'd be like 3-1 at this point. I mean, they've only had like one tough game, I think. Is that right? They played Arizona State at the beginning of the year, but Arizona State just kind of looks bad right now.
Yeah, they don't look good.
Yeah. So they beat Arkansas last week, but
I just had a very sad moment watching something there. So Michael Vick just scrambled out of the pocket and got run down from behind by Elvis Dumervil. Now, Michael Vick, we've joked about him being the cheat code. Michael Vick doesn't get run down from behind by a defensive end. Ever.
Nope.
Ever. And Elvis Dumervil just ran him down from behind.
Well, Elvis Dumervil is a little bitty. He's a small guy. He's ferocious.
And he's quick, and he's a great sack guy, but Michael Vick, man.
Yeah.
Now, in fairness here, Vick still had his head downfield like he was trying to get rid of the ball maybe, but I don't know. That just made me right there just go, man, I miss old Michael Vick.
Yeah, but I mean, Elvis Dumervil, he's fast, right? And though he be but little, he is fierce.
Elvis Dumervil has one of the funniest stories of how he wound up on a team in maybe the history of sports, where Elvis Dumervil played for the Broncos his whole career, right?
Yeah.
He was an all-pro defensive end for his entire career.
Yep.
And the Broncos obviously wanted to keep him on the team.
Yep.
And so Elvis Dumervil goes to his agent and says, yeah, I want to stay with the Broncos. Of course, let's make this deal happen.
Yeah,
and
and
so
they were going to give him a max deal.
They were going to give him pretty much the most of the money they could give him. And so Elvis Dumervil's agent is supposed to file the paperwork with the league saying, like, okay, we have a contract, an agreement, and there's a certain time that they have to do this because the teams have a window to re-sign players before free agency starts. And then after that, they can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And so Elvis Dumervil's agent doesn't send in the paperwork until after the deadline.
Just missed it.
And I guess tries to essentially pull slept through it.
Slept through your contract alarm. My bad, Elvis. Hey.
My bad, man. I know there's only 20 or 30 million.
Physical freak that's paid to hit people. Sorry about that, but you're going to have to go sign at a different place.
I know this is literally what you pay me for, but
oopsie daisy.
My bad. And so I guess you're a free agent now.
And the Ravens claimed you off of the wire.
Yeah, and so he became like an unrestricted free agent on like the waiver wire.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get to be a free agent and choose what team he went to. It was like he was like a restricted free agent type thing where it was like he was going to get claimed on waivers, or where he essentially got cut. And the Ravens just got them pretty much for free. And then got to offer him a contract. Well, I mean, they paid him, but I'm just saying,
I'm not sure exactly the details. Something in there.
I'm sure now he has a contract with him, but at the time, I'm pretty sure all they had to do was give him a 1-year contract. That was like per league rules. And so Elvis Dumervil was like the angriest person to ever play for a team where he was like, I don't even want to be here. I would rather be in Denver.
I'm just here so I won't get fined, in every sense of the phrase.
Well, Steve Smith is hurt, so that's good. Steve Smith just practically got decapitated. He's on my fantasy team.
I don't know how far behind
his well-being.
I don't know how far behind I am, because right now on my stream, because I don't have a TV in my room with cable, the Steelers have the ball, and there's 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third.
You're way behind.
When is it?
We're in the third with 40 seconds left, and Steve Smith is laying on the ground and writhing in pain. Ooh, you talk about a tough son of a bitch.
You want to just talk about? I don't like
Steve Smith Senior.
I hope he's not hurt, but I don't like him. There's playing with a chip on your shoulder, and then there's just being an asshole. I feel like he's an asshole. Joe Woolsey's wife wants to know we're going to talk about real soccer, football, or about real football, football.
Okay.
We're not, right? We're not going to do that. I don't know anything about. I don't keep up.
Oh man, I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, something cool this year. You got the new FIFA.
Yeah, you have the new FIFA. Have you downloaded
I do.
it
I
yet?
downloaded it. Awesome game. Plays great.
Can we play FIFA after this?
No.
What?
No.
Oh my god. All right.
But it's a great game.
Whatever.
It's a great game. A lot of fun.
Good to me.
For the first time ever in the FIFA series, the women's teams, I think it's the women's national teams. I don't believe there's any club teams. I don't believe so.
No.
But the women's national teams are involved in the game, where you can now do essentially the Women's World Cup, which I thought was really cool because I loved watching the Women's World Cup. I think it's awesome. I got pumped about those games. I went out for those games, like went and watched them at a bar. So I thought it was awesome. I think it's really cool. That should have been in there for a long time. I mean, I don't know, for a long time. But the popularity of that is so much now that I think it's, we should absolutely have that in a FIFA game. I think people would want to play that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and I think that it works because it's the popularity of the sport, and also a lot of people don't know this, but video gamers, people who play video games, almost 50% of them are female.
Yeah,
and so it's a good way to introduce young females into that play video games if they want to play a sports game and they want to play as the women's team. It's just a better way to get women into sports, and then hopefully bring up these leagues and bring up just the talent everywhere, because there's a reason that America is so good at women's sports, at just all of them, and it's because of Title IX and bringing in promoting these things. And so if this starts happening globally, and I think it's great because soccer is such a global game, if you can get that in, I mean, FIFA sells everywhere. And so if you can start getting young girls involved in it, then, I think that it would really bring up the sport and really grow that viewership, and let these female athletes who are very good at what they do, let them be able to make some money and be able to do it for a living and be entertaining.
We've talked about this before, about kind of like that level of equality. Where's the line that you draw there? Because it's like, well, if nobody's watching it, unfortunately, the athlete can't get paid. Where's the line that you go with that? But there's no denying the skill level of, the women's players at a professional level. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great. And that, I think soccer is one of the, I don't want to compare soccer to like the WNBA, because quite frankly, the WNBA is a very different looking game than the NBA.
Yeah.
Looks different, plays different, everything is different. Whereas when I, as kind of a very unsophisticated soccer, watch the men play and watch the women play, the game is roughly the same to me.
Right. I agree.
So like for me, I can watch women's soccer and not feel like I'm watching a lesser product at all. And so that's what I mean. And I don't want to, bear down on, the WNBA like that, but it's like
it's a different game.
I want to see dunks. Like, I like seeing dunks. I think it's fun.
It's just a different game. Like,
yeah, it's just a very different game.
It's played on a different level. Like, not skill wise, but just like, hey, we can jump way up here. Like, that's why women's tennis is good.
Yeah,
because
exactly. It doesn't look any different.
It doesn't look any different. Everything is played. It doesn't matter how tall you are. It doesn't matter how high you can jump. Because just that's not a sexist thing to say. No. Genetically, men are more athletic than women. Like, it's just, sorry. That's how things work. But, I think that tennis, what was the other one? Our friend Brian Taylor said that women's tennis, soccer, and there was, no, not golf.
Bowling.
No, not bowling.
Even though, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I
if you want to watch some bowling, I mean, do you really care if it's a girl or a guy?
I think that it would be fun to have a bowling watch party on a weekend where there's nothing else happening, and just everyone
talked about some PBA.
Yeah, everybody just puts quite a bit of money on it, just for fun. Right. It's like, hey, throw $50 on it and let's just get drunk. I think that would be a lot of fun, actually.
Just Pete Weber out there just knocking them down.
Just be barbecuing.
Just say, dude, Weber's up again.
Yeah, dude.
Weber's in the 7th.
Dude, those guys are so good.
He's trailing by 8.
Like, if you do just watch them, they are incredible.
Oh, no, it's awesome. I mean, the amount of skill involved in it is really remarkable. It really is.
I mean, you see people at the bowling alley all the time that can't break 100, and these guys are like, yeah, I average 265. Like, it's just like, what do you mean you average two? Like, I've broken 200 twice. 205 is my high. My brother's is 211.
Yeah, mine's right at 200. It's right at 200. And that's happened like one time in my life.
And you look up at the thing and you're like, okay, strike, spare, 9, spare, strike, spare. And you're like, that's only 205? How do you average 260 something?
Right.
Like, that's you're a bad game is 240. Like,
you're talking about like different oil patterns and like where the ball should line up and like what's the weight.
Hey, how's that pin action coming through?
Like what? What are you talking about?
They're so good.
Just a big brush statement here. Let me just say this: if you are talented enough at a sport to get paid to do it, I don't care what sport it is. I really don't. The amount of skill involved is very, very, very high.
I don't care.
Professional athlete.
Don't care.
In way, shape, form, or fashion.
I don't care. I don't care. Is Paul coming? Lob City.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. If you're so good at it, if it's a competition, and you're so good at it that you get paid, that's impressive. One of our avid listeners, the Pokes fan, big shout, Sarah. We were talking about video games because we were talking about FIFA, and I mentioned that our friend Will Hodges was ranked #1 in the world at one point in FIFA 2006. And she was like,
yeah, 06. I knew it was like 06, 07 or something like that.
And she was like, okay. And I was like, isn't that kind of cool? And she was like, no, why would that be cool? It's a video game. And I was like, because it's a video game that millions of people play, and they play it a lot, and he's better than all of them. Like, whatever it is, if there are millions of people, if you and millions of other people do the same thing, and you just go, yeah, every one of you, I'm better than all of you at anything. Like, props, that's awesome. I'm not the best in the world at anything. Like, I'm not in the top, probably like 5 to 10% in any category of anything ever. And you're going to be the best in the world, and I'm supposed to poo-poo that? Like, no. You do you. You're awesome. Way to go.
Because, there were times, no, because, like, just sticking with video games, all right? Like, I think about, like, we've asked this question on the pod, especially on the video game pod, where we said, what was the best game? What was your best game ever? Where were you the absolute best? And I said Battlefield 3 was probably the best I've ever been in a video game.
And you were just really good. Like,
and I was really good. But every once in a while, you would run into a match and you'd go, oh, damn, this guy over there is freaking awesome.
Go, I am out of my
league. Kill that guy. Like, I can't shoot that guy at all. I've never beaten that guy.
Nothing I can do is going to win.
Just unbelievable, that people are that skilled at anything. And I give them props. Like, yeah, is it kind of lame to be the top 5 in the world in Halo? Yeah, maybe. But it's still kind of cool for somebody that's played that game and spent a lot of time with it.
You know why it's cool now?
Kind of impressive.
You know why it's cool now? Because people can stream their accounts and people make money doing it. I just listened to a podcast last night of this girl who she sucked at video games, but she got awesome at World of Warcraft because she studied how to beat everybody. And she does it for a living. She plays video games and she streams on Twitch. And Josh said that if you have a stronger arm than Chad Pennington, you better be bowling better than a 200. All right, let's get to a game. I want to talk about the Rebs just real quick. I know we talked about a lot about the Rebs, and I don't want to do too much.
I don't want to dive into this too much.
Justin Bell's out, so Justin Bell is out. He's not playing, and Larry McTunsell is probably out. We still no word on them because the NCAA.
So it's our two best linemen. Cool.
Just dragging their ass. Hey, we're not going to do anything. Is that okay? Like, we're just not going to tell you what's going on. And so we're going to Florida. Florida coming off the big win against Tennessee. And
who's not that good.
Who's not that good.
It's all right.
and they probably should have lost the game. But they're ranked number 25 because
I don't want to go talking a bunch of crap before we go into a 4-0.
I don't either. Here's the thing. I'm scared, Tommy. Devin's worried.
What's the spread?
I don't know. The spread's 7.5 Rebs. What do you think?
I don't think Florida's that good. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. You know, this is one of those things where you say it at the beginning of the year and you just are going to just stick by it. I don't think Florida's that great. I think they're about to hit some bumps in the road, and I think the Rebels are about to be the first one. Yeah, I think Ole Miss has a little bit of a bounce back game there. I'd like them by more than 7.5.
I think you're right, but I would not be surprised if.
No, I mean, I'm not surprised if we lose the game outright. I'm not.
I will be surprised if we lose. I don't know if I'll be more surprised or just pissed off. We can't lose to Florida. We got to show C.C. Jefferson that he should have been a Rebel. Rebel. That's what we got to do. I think that we win. I think that it's close. I think that it's the toughest game of the year. Oh, Alabama. Just throwing jabs at you. But I think it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to watch it, and I didn't.
The toughest game of the year is going to be Mississippi State or LSU, unfortunately, because they're going to come at the end of a stretch where you're beaten up already.
All right. Well, hey, we're not going to do a season preview on the Rebs. We both think they're going to win. We think it's going to be a good game.
It will be it'll be a good game. Yes.
All right. Is there any other big college games? Arizona at Stanford. Arizona just got blown out.
Alabama's playing Georgia now.
Alabama.
Right?
Oh, yeah, Alabama's playing Georgia. That was the other one. Line is 2.5 Georgia, and I like the dogs. Not the underdogs either. I like the dogs.
They're playing in Athens, right?
Playing in Athens. And look, here's the thing. I think the best player on the field is Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's the best player on that field, right?
Nick Chubb's really good.
Because Jake Coker's 1 for 21 on passes over 20 yards.
Who's he throwing it to? Is Amari Cooper out there?
No, Amari Cooper plays on Sundays.
Makes it pretty tough.
It's not good.
So, I don't know. I just hate to – I don't like betting against Bama in a big game. I certainly don't like betting against Bama in back-to-back big games. So I don't know.
It's the first time that Alabama hasn't been favored in like 3 years. Did you know that? It's the first time they have not been favored in a game by Vegas in 3 years. 3 or 4 years. Like since they won their last national championship, they've been favored in every matchup, even LSU on the road. That's quite a streak right there.
Are you trying to say that they have now fallen off?
No. I'm saying that's a streak. Like that's so impressive. I think.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I mean, of course they sign the number 1 recruiting class every year. They go into every home and go, "Hey, everybody knows that we're the best. Like, do you want to be part of this?" Hey, the easiest sell ever. Everyone says that Nick Saban is the best recruiter, and it's just like, well, he got to Alabama, and they got really good, and now he just coasts on it. I mean, it's an easy sell.
I don't know about that. I don't know about the guy coasting on anything. That guy doesn't seem the type to coast.
No, but, like, the pitch is the same.
Well, the pitch is, hey, we put more people in the NFL than anybody. So I know you want to go to the NFL because you're thinking about going to Alabama. So
that's why people go to freaking Kentucky. Kentucky puts people in the NBA. Yeah.
Now, who do I like in the game? I don't know. I like Bama.
Gun to your head, who do you think wins?
Who do I think wins the game? I think Bama wins the game.
You think they win?
I really do. I think Bama wins the game.
I think
it's a good game. I think Bama wins the game.
I think Georgia wins the game, and if they're winning,
I think Bama is really good. I think anybody that is very quick to try to say that Bama is all of a sudden taking a step back, that's not going to happen.
No one's saying that.
I'm not saying that you are. No. People are saying that. You're not saying it. I'm not saying it, but people are saying that.
I mean, they're not that good. They're not that good, Tommy. They're pretty good.
Bama doesn't turn the ball over 5 times. How's that game going with Ole Miss?
I don't know, Tommy.
And Bama played like crap.
Hey, we didn't play well either. That's the thing nobody brings up. We didn't play well either. Like, had we been playing well on the when they
we didn't play that well. But guess what we didn't do? We didn't turn it over one single time.
Yeah, but if we were playing well,
+5 turnover margin, and you only won by 6 points.
Hey, if we would have been playing well when they turned the ball over to us those 3 times in the first half, it wouldn't have been a game at all. Like, we weren't playing well. We got some breaks, but I mean, we played.
There's the understatement of the century, but that's all right.
Jeez, I mean, okay, what are we supposed to do? Not pick off the balls?
Back to the Bama Georgia thing. I got Bama.
All right, I got Georgia.
Which is going to make Ole Miss look better. That's the thing. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you ought to be the biggest Bama fan in the world right now. You ought to hope that Bama wins out.
This is what I'm saying.
I'm just talking to just fans. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about
don't project on me.
If you like Ole Miss, you ought to root for Alabama at this point forward because you ought to hope they beat everybody.
I mean, not everybody. I'd like for them to lose one more game. But here's the thing. Like, if we just win out, it doesn't matter what happens. So.
Well, yeah, if we just go 8-0 from this point on, sure, you're right.
Yep. Look, I think Georgia's the better team. I think they're the better team. Joe says that he hopes Bama wins. All right. That's all the college games, I think. Score update right now. Cincinnati's up 34-23 on Miami with 3 minutes left in the fourth. What's the score in this Ravens game?
2017 Steelers, with the Steelers holding on for dear life.
They just got the ball back, right?
Believe the Steelers did just get the ball back.
All right. Hey, my bets. We got a chance. We got a chance on this parlay here. All right, you want to talk about some NFL games? Next week's this coming week's NFL games?
Sure.
All right. Let's talk about what we got here. Start off with the early games. Colts Jags. Andrew Luck. You think? I think
the Colts. No, I don't. I think this is a deal where the Colts finally look like an NFL football team and go ahead and put a whipping on. I mean, the Jaguars just got their ass kicked by the Patriots last week.
Yeah, but the Patriots are probably the best team in the NFL.
No, they're not.
They're not?
The Packers are right now.
Okay, they're the best team in the AFC.
That I can probably roll with, yeah.
The Colts are probably lower third.
No, I think the Colts are upper half.
Tommy, they're bad. They're bad.
Upper half.
That roster doesn't have any talent on it.
They better than Miami?
No.
You don't think the Colts are better than Miami?
No, and Miami sucks. I don't think the Colts are any good. What have they done to look good?
What looks bad is that division. The AFC South looks like the biggest piece of garbage in the world. You have the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, and the Jaguars. That is a terrible division.
They're all 1 and 2. All of them are 1 and 2.
I think the Colts are getting to the playoffs. I think they're going to make it at 9 and 7. I think they're a pretty decent team.
I think the Texans get in, especially if Arian Foster gets back. If Arian Foster gets back, you don't think they can win that division?
No.
With Ryan Mallett?
No.
Mallett. Dude, Ryan Mallett.
I like Mallett just fine, but I mean, he's never going to be a top 20 guy in the NFL. He's not. He doesn't have that kind of.
Never. He's just 6'7" and has a laser rocket. He's
not going to be a top 20 quarterback in the NFL. He's not. Decision-making skills still aren't there.
Yeah, who's ever developed decision-making skills?
Later in their career.
Dude, he hasn't played. He played well for Houston last year, and he got hurt.
He played okay.
He played well. I didn't say he was great. You'd go, oh, yeah, he's playing pretty well. He's not wowing.
Is he the best guy on the team? Is he better than Brian Hoyer? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. They get Arian Foster back. They get back one of the best running backs in the league. I think Bill O'Brien's a good coach. I think they could be fine. Yeah, I don't know why you're so down on Houston. Jeez. The Colts. The thing is the Colts don't have anything to get better from. Their offensive line is terrible. Nobody else is coming.
The offensive line is completely terrible.
And their defense
really is.
Their defense made the Jets look good on offense. I mean, is it really that hard to figure out? They're just not a good team.
I just think when you have an elite quarterback, which I still believe that Andrew Luck is, when you have an elite quarterback, that can change a whole lot of stuff. That can make you look a lot you really are.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, I think that the Jaguars could win that game. The line is 9.5. Do you think it should be 9.5?
No, it should be 9.5. Okay. I think the Colts win by a touchdown.
I think the Colts win by maybe 3.
Oh, okay.
Dude, the Jaguars aren't terrible. Blake Bortles could be a good quarterback. He could be a good quarterback.
I'll run with that.
I'd say that Blake Bortles is playing at least as well as Andrew Luck is right now. Andrew Luck might be the better quarterback, but right now,
Joe is playing as good as Andrew Luck is right now.
Oh man! All right, there aren't any really good games this week. There aren't any good games at all. Cowboys Saints, but everybody's hurt and sucks in that game.
That's one that everybody cares about.
Is it Romo's out? Dez is out.
Romo's out. Dez is out. Drew Brees is out.
Who cares about that?
That's the backup bowl. That's the backup bowl there.
How pissed do you? That's the Sunday night game. How pissed do you think NBC is?
Oh, NBC is furious.
They were like, "Are you kidding me? Can we not keep anybody healthy in this freaking league?"
Cowboys.
Who do my Broncos? Oh my! My Broncos play your Vikings.
Don't say my Vikings.
Dude, you're a Vikings fan.
Nah, I'm a fringe Vikings fan.
You used to be a very big Vikings fan.
I did. I used to care very deeply.
Okay. I used to care very deeply about the Broncos. So this is our backup bowl.
Okay, so you're right. This is a flashback bowl here.
Yeah. Hey, my 12-year-old self would really hate your 14-year-old self this week.
Yeah, we'd be fake angry. We'd bet $5 on it.
I'll bet you who steals lunch from the Sky Dome.
Right.
Who's sneaking out my sausage biscuit? That's not an innuendo. That is not a euphemism.
It's more bacon.
So the Broncos are 7-point favorites, and I don't think they cover. Not because I think the Vikings are good. I don't think the Vikings are good. I just don't think the Broncos are that good.
I don't think the Broncos are that good either. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater's very good for the Vikings. I think Adrian Peterson is very good. I think Adrian Peterson is very good.
I think that's going to be a real low-scoring game. And in a low-scoring game, taking the points means that you're taking the favor, you're taking the dogs.
You're taking the points, you're taking the favorite, I believe.
No, I think you're giving the points is your.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, I'm taking the
points. You're taking the dog.
Yeah, I'm taking the dog. I'm taking the points.
Okay.
I think this could very easily be like a 17-14 game. 13-10.
I don't know about that low. I'd see something like a 24-20 type thing going on.
Dude,
I can maybe see that.
Dude, scoring's down in the NFL. I've bet a lot of overs this year, and I haven't won a lot of them. Scoring is down in the NFL. I'd be interested to see what it is.
24-20, I can see that.
Well, the over-under is 43, so you're saying it's going over, and I don't think it's going over. I think that it's going to be – the Broncos just haven't looked that good on offense, I haven't thought. I mean, they're 3-0. Like, I don't want to hate on them. Peyton Manning said that. He was like, man, wish we could win a game because everyone's talking about how bad they are. I mean, they are 3-0. They're probably going to win the division because they're off to a good start, but I think that they're going to win this one close. But I don't think 7 points. I wouldn't give up 7.
Nah, I don't think so either. I think the Vikings, with that running game, can keep you in games, slows things down. you got a guy like Peterson. You got a guy like Phil Lodeholt. He's a right tackle for the Vikes.
I'm getting a lot of crap because my bet is not made. I've had 2 people text me to make my bet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. Hey, we've got 5 watchers. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching, by the way. Hey, by the way, don't look now. Don't look now, Tommy. But guess who's about to be 3-1 come Sunday evening?
No, I don't know. Are we talking about the NFL?
Yep.
I don't know. The Falcons?
No, not the Falcons. The Oakland Raiders are playing the 0-3 Chicago Bears without Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall.
So the Raiders are 2-1 right now.
And they're about to be 3-1 because the Bears are the worst team.
Oh, they're going to be 3-1. And I actually just picked up the Raiders defense against the Bears offense because as somebody that watched that offense last week, it looked like those people had never played football before.
Wasn't good.
They didn't get the ball across the 50-yard line, and they punted every time they had the ball. They had the ball 10 times, they punted 10 times.
Yeah, John Fox hasn't really done well there. Hey, we stayed under in the Cincinnati-Miami game, so the first legs of our parlay are good. We had Cincinnati plus 7.5. They won outright 34-23. So we are looking for – we need at least one more touchdown in the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game to hit the over there.
Well, Vic just fumbled. He didn't fumble, but he dropped a snap, so that wasn't very good. So Pittsburgh has the ball now. You got 4 minutes to go, I believe, in this thing. Pittsburgh holding on.
We need Pittsburgh to score a touchdown here, then. That's the only way we're going to hit it because we need that over. And we need Pittsburgh to win on the money line. All right. So, yeah, I think that the Raiders, they're 3-1. I told you that they're going to be in the conversation for a playoff spot, and you laughed at me. And I think
I did. I continue to laugh.
I think they're going to be in contention for a playoff spot, and I'm not saying if they're great, but I think that they've played a favorable schedule so far. They've taken advantage of it, and I think they could end up at 8-8, 9-7.
I think 8-8 doesn't get them in.
I don't think it gets them in, but it gets them in the conversation. I'm just saying that they're going to be somewhat relevant. If they were able to squeak out a couple more lucky games like they did already, then, I mean, you know.
You have to have a niche in the NFL. You have to have kind of a thing that you do, right? I think that's really in every professional sport. You have to have a bit of an identity.
Not this year.
Hey, hold on. I'm about to compliment the Oakland Raiders.
Right? No, you're not.
You have to have a little bit of an identity. Now, the thing that the Raiders have figured out is that Amari Cooper is really awesome. So they got a pretty decent young quarterback who I'm not super high on, but he's not terrible.
You don't like him. You've said many times that you don't like him.
I don't love him, but he's not awful. He's not awful. I don't think he's awful. All right, I don't think Derek Carr is awful.
I asked you if he was one of the top 32 quarterbacks, and you said you don't know.
I think he's in the bottom 10. Yeah.
Okay, so you think that he's awful, like comparatively?
No, I just don't think he's as good as I could name a whole bunch of guys that I don't think he's as good as. Everybody just starts getting on this train where, like it's like Bill Simmons likes to talk about it. He goes, a guy is so underrated that he's actually overrated. Where you talk about like, oh, he's so sneaky good that he's like too hyped up. And that's kind of how I felt about Derek Carr. They're like, man, he had a sneaky good year last year. I didn't think he was going to be that good. I didn't think he was going to be like, oh, he's taking the next step. Like, I don't see that. I think he's going to be an all right quarterback in the NFL. I think right now what he's got is a stud receiver. And so they figured out they can throw the ball down the field. They can move the ball around. And then on defense, they're just going to have a pass rush. They are just going to get after the quarterback. And I think that's a good identity to have. I mean, that can cause turnovers, and it's obviously led to some victories. I think against Chicago, they're just going to I just think they're going to wreck them from a defensive standpoint. I really do.
I hear you.
I think it could be a statement type thing. Like, I get what you're saying. Well, like, momentum-wise, this could be something that kind of gets the Raiders going again. I think this could be a statement thing against a pretty beat-up, not very good Chicago Bears team. I think this could be a pretty big win.
Yeah, I hear you.
When Jimmy Clausen is your starting quarterback, I can guarantee you that he's not in the top 32.
No, he's not. Definitely not. That's why he's a backup. All right, Tommy, you want to wrap this up? Let everybody go enjoy the end of the Steelers game, maybe?
Yeah, the Ravens just held them on third down. Now Josh Scobie is in right now for a 49-yard field goal to put Pittsburgh up by 6. And the kick is up, and it's wide left. It's no good.
Okay.
So 2:24 left in the game there.
So everybody that's if you got on that parlay, we are rooting for overtime here. We need a Baltimore.
Why? If Baltimore goes down there and scores a touchdown, don't you still win?
No, because we have Pittsburgh money line.
Gotcha.
So yeah. All right. We're gonna sign off. I'm gonna tweet out our official picks. We kind of previewed some stuff tonight. I'm gonna tweet out our official picks tomorrow. This was kind of an idea that we had, and let us know if you liked it or not. We'll continue to do it. We'll try to do it earlier. We'll try to do it probably about 45 minutes to an hour earlier. We had some technical difficulties tonight. So follow us on at the Grind Podcast on Twitter. And
easy for you to say.
Yeah. So we'll catch you guys next week, and happy betting. Hope everybody's teams win, unless you're a Florida Gators fan. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, I'm Tommy Joe Martins. He's Devin Murray. Thanks for listening to The Grind.